Mr. Norris in Quakers, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, joins us next. Thank you for coming on this morning.
My pleasure.
Well, we'll switch. Okay, well, let's even get your perspective on this development in Rivers State. You know, no matter how you try to ask politicians, they could end up blaming themselves. If care is not taken, they could also join you as part of the blame game, and you ask yourself, so while you seek a solution to this entire matter, but from what you saw, what happened, what you heard of the respondents that came here, what do you think?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that this is happening now. From our own perspective, I don't think as a country we are ripe for democracy. I don't think we're mature for it. I don't think we actually understand democracy as a platform for determining choices. You have right now several political parties, but it appears that there are two major political parties. Nothing stops a particular political party from going to another territory to canvass for election along ethnic lines, along religious lines, along lines of ideas. People are allowed, or should be allowed, to determine those that will govern or that will rule them. It's actually unfortunate that this is happening in Rivers State. Rivers State as a state has been locked down for quite a while. The judiciary right now, as we speak, has been locked down. It's not functioning. Now, you also now have politicians trying to deprive each other of the votes of the people. What I saw on TV, quite frankly, is shameful. And unfortunate, it's quite unfortunate that a policeman, right now as we speak, is dead. Another is lying critically injured. And there are yet others who are also injured whose identities have not been revealed. But it's, quite frankly, it's sad that this is happening at this time. We're not ready.
And the thing is, you know, the thing of all of this, you also hear them accuse, lay allegations against the police, who is also supposed to do that. So, can we dismiss that with a wave of hand, or how do we treat those kind of issues?
I won't blame the police. It's too early in the day to apportion blame.
No, not for that incident, though.
No, generally, it's unfortunate that we have. Right now, it appears that the police is also politicized. The army is politicized, they are like what the other speaker said. And these are frightening signals. These are dangerous signals. A situation where law enforcement agents now get involved also on political platforms and get into political maneuverings, manipulations, and, well, you could simply describe as getting involved in politics. And that's the dangerous part of this whole thing, where they leave their statutory and constitutional responsibilities and get involved in politics. When that happens, it then now means that you now begin to have sites, you now begin to have appendages or attachment to appointers. If a particular person appoints you, you must ensure that for as long as that person remains in government, you give the person some sort of cover. You know, these are the dangerous signals that are emerging.
I asked that question about whether or not we're ready for democracy yesterday. I think the guest was taken aback. But I asked that question in relation to INEC and preparedness and, you know, some of the, well, some people would say booby traps, it would seem, waiting for that electoral body. But we'll come to that in a moment. This peace pact we have been signing, it's become rather fashionable, even across the states now. The Commissioner of Police takes it as a duty upon himself to get the major political parties to sign this peace pact. Does it mean anything?
It doesn't. Let me ask this question from this perspective. Is it binding? Can it be enforced? Can you guarantee the peace accord? Can you guarantee that your supporters will not get overzealous and go overboard? Can you call them to order? What's this whole thing about? It's like the winner-take-all syndrome, and that's what is playing out now. You really can't guarantee, as a people, we don't have it in us, in any case, to also obey rules and regulations.
Under what circumstances, sorry to interrupt, but
yes,
under what circumstances do peace pacts work?
Now, you see, take it from this perspective. If we believe in the peace accord, it comes from inside. It's an internal thing. If anything goes wrong, a particular party or candidate sponsors violence, so to speak, and his attention is drawn to the peace pact, at that time it becomes enforceable. It can be used against him. The Electoral Act actually recognizes or makes provision for electoral violence and its impact on political office seekers. in this wise, you can't enforce it. How do you determine, right, listening to the two gentlemen that spoke a few minutes back, the one from APC and then the one from PDP, pointing, accusing fingers at each other. APC says it's PDP that is behind it. PDP says no, it's not PDP that is behind it, it's actually APC. So, and that what is happening is as a result of the fallout of the failure of internal democracy. And that has always been the guise. If you look across the country, look around the states, it's the same thing. So how then do you enforce the peace accord? I like what the American government did, coming into Nigeria, getting our leaders to sign the peace pact or peace accord, and went further in saying that where it is found that certain persons, political office seekers or office holders, sponsored violence, they will be denied visa. So there is some sort of sanction, there's some sort of punitive measure that is being meted out. But what do we have in turn in terms of those within the Nigerian context who flout the peace accord? How then do you enforce it? How do you determine who has flouted the peace accord?
Mr. Quakers,
because right now they're pointing accusing fingers at each other. How do you determine who is behind what?
Mr. Quakers, why do we even need to sign peace accords? I mean, is it not possible to have an election without violence?
Of course, it is. It's possible.
So how did we get to this point where everybody just wants to throw it in there? And
it's a winner-takes-all syndrome. We're consumed by greed. A friend of mine and I were discussing the other day, and we said the national cake is so large that people approach it from different perspectives. You have those who go with machete, and you have those who go with table knife. You have those who go with bowls to take whatever is there for the taking. And until we begin to deal with it, until we begin to see governance as service, until we begin to see it, not winner take all syndrome, not financial a means to an end.
How do we get to that point? I mean, how do we get to make public office, in quote, unattractive and make service more attractive than that case?
A number of things we'll have to give in. A few minutes ago, while on my way, I was listening to the radio, and somebody said that we're not practicing true federalism. Read the report on the President of the United States of America, Obama. He said he's poorer now as President of the United States of America than before he went in. And it's always like that with a lot of them. They make money when they leave office because they get endorsements, they get to deliver speeches and get involved in conferences, seminars, and all that. They get instructions, or they get royalties to write books and all that. So they have other means of income. In Nigeria, being in government is financially rewarding, so to speak. The money is there. That's why people would like to kill themselves so as to be there. Until we amend the constitution, until we begin to practice true federalism. Look at the other day, I learned that some about is it 20 governors or so are opposed to local government autonomy. Why would you have that? Why would you oppose it? It's sickening.
You've narrowed it down to the governors, but they said there was the state houses of assembly that rejected it.
No, but the State House of Assembly are also sponsored by the governors. And when you look at all of this, why will you reject, why will you oppose local government autonomy? Because the essence of local government is you want development to reach the grassroots. So why will anybody oppose that? It's because of the perks of office.
Powers devolves from the center.
Exactly. Until we begin to deal with all of this, the center is too strong, is too large, and I think the earlier we begin to prune down, there's a need to also further amend the constitution, address these issues. Until these issues are addressed and there's a constitutional amendment, it will continue.
Do you think, because you spoke about this winner-takes-all mindset, if we were to maybe consider proportional representation or a coalition kind of arrangement so that the winner-takes-all is sorted, will those help?
It will, certainly. It will.
You see us working with a coalition?
No, definitely, it will. To a large extent, that will address this issue. Some people feel, look at this way. Why do you have politicians carpet crossing? Why do you have politicians leaving a political party to join another political party? It's because the political platform given to them is not giving them the opportunity to either showcase or to also, as it were, be involved in governance and enjoy the perks of office. So you either cross over to the ruling party, or you look at the opportunity that, okay, a particular party might emerge as well, and then you cross over. We're not developing along ideological lines.
Do you see this decreasing? From what we hear, it would seem that independent candidacy has been approved.
It's good.
Do you see that decreasing the amount of carpet crossing that we have.
Yes, but you see, the danger there is because we operate a money culture, except you have individual candidates with strong financial muscle, it will be difficult to compete against institutions or people that can be described as institutional politicians. It will be very difficult to compete.
So maybe the politicians would have said, okay, let's see how you move
let's
on this. Let's give it to them.
Yes.
Let's
see how far this particular person.
But let's get to the Senate. The chairman of INEC was there yesterday. He spoke up on a number of issues. You listened to that.
Yes.
Which one struck you more?
The fact that he spoke about the card reader, and that the reason why some people are against it is because it will checkmate rigging. I was impressed by that. And coupled with the fact that he also said that from his body language and what he said eventually, we're not sure if there will be no second postponement, because he said holding the election from the perspective of INEC is ready, but it will depend largely on the security chiefs. If they come up to say that we're not ready because we can't guarantee safety of lives and properties, it means the election will not hold on the scheduled date. And that's worrisome.